Guys, obviously there was another team that played tonight in Chelsea.
Played.
Donny, talk to me about your team tonight.
Staffy, bro. This is why a few weeks ago I told you, when you were saying to me Chelsea fans are spoiled, and I said to you the reasons why we're asking for more players this season. This is why, bro. Conor Gallagher, bro. Yeah, we've got Havertz up top. 2023, we've still got Aspi at this club on more money than what he was earning under Roman, bro. Yeah? These are the problems at my club. Right now, we have so many holes to fill, and we've got a coach that is clueless. He's not putting anything out there for these players to go off of. There's no tactics. There's no vibes. It's not fun. There's one game left. I'm just waiting. 90 more minutes of hell, right? We're in hell. And then we can go again in summer. Because we need a CDM. We need Nkuku to come in. We need Gusto to come on that right? We need a proper striker. We need a new goalkeeper. This place is a mess, right? And if you look at the lineup today, next season, we're not going to be seeing the same lineup again. It's going to be a different Chelsea because we need to make sure this summer we get the players that we need to fill these holes because this is too much. And obviously, Poch is coming in as well. So for me today, it just again goes to show that these players that we've got right now are just not good enough. Arsenal, if they had the chances that we had today, would have been 3-4-0 up. Man United, Liverpool even City as well. But if you look at us, we've got easy chances, and these professional footballers don't know how to take them time and time again. We go into matches as Chelsea fans. We don't know what to predict. We don't know what lineup is going to put out. We don't know what formation is going to put out. We don't know who's going to start. You had Fofana today having his worst performance in the Chelsea top. It's just got to the point where nothing's going to change. It's the same thing week after week. I'm just waiting for the season to finish.
Has Fofana been that bad, bro? Because when I saw him today, I couldn't believe how shocking he was.
He has not been
watching him that much.
When he came back, when he got injured and he came back, he was arguably our best player. And then something happened where he got another injury against Everton. And since then, he just hasn't been the same. He's been quite shaky. Overall, I can't blame him fully because we need protection in front of him. But today, I can't excuse the performance from him. You know, passing it out at the back, easy interception there, giving away the penalty. I can't excuse that. I can't say a CDM is the reason why I done that today. So for me today, again, just shows a lot of work needs to be done in this team. A lot of surgery needs to be done in this team.
Out of curiosity, where do you put these new players? You have 1 million players on supermax contracts like this, the NBA, fam. These men are on 8-9 year deals, fam. Where do you
but
put these men?
What we need to do is get rid of a lot of players before we even think of bringing anyone in. We need about 3, I'd probably say 3, maybe even 4 additions. We definitely need 2 midfielders. We need a striker. We need a new goalkeeper. We need quite a few things.
Here's the issue with Chelsea, though. Here's the issue with Chelsea here, because I said this. I can't even last season when you lot were buying all these players and people going, oh, you spent 800, 900 million. I'm saying no. It's a big risk. It is a big risk, and this is right. It's not the NBA. You've had an American owner come through. He's applied this mentality of, let me get about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 players, whatever. Let me put them on serious wages, and he's taking a big gamble because financial fair play for you guys is going to be difficult every season if it doesn't work off in a short period of time, because you've got to now go, okay, we finished 12th. How are we, one, going to attract better quality because we can't spend as much as we can each season because we're still paying off a certain amount that will eat into the budget every season because of these big contracts. That's how you've been able to do it. So it's a big risk. It's a naive one and an ignorant one from your new owner. And it's clearly backfired. And yes, you may sell some players, but respectfully, this is right. You've got at least 3 seasons with these guys before you can get anything back from them. At least. Because there's no way you can go and sell those guys.
You're talking about the players who just came. Remember?
Yeah, more time. More time.
Yeah. But Terry, switch me, Terry. Sorry, there we go. The problem is not the players that just come in. It's the players that are still flipping there from Roman. You've got
no, I'm not saying that.
No, but that's what we're focusing on. But the real
I was just landing my point differently. That was all.
Yeah. But the new players that have come in have done well. Enzo was arguably the best player on the pitch.
So ultimately, to land the point, what I'm saying is, when you do go for a rebuild, if you're going to go with the strategy that you're going to bring in all these players, it's a big gamble. because the players that you need to get rid of, which are your old players, yeah, you still then got to go and spend to replace those players. But because you've put these big wages in place and these big transfer fees over a set period of time, it's going to hinder your ability to be able to buy the quality that you do need to replace the older players. And this is what I'm saying.
Chelsea
They're
not on big wages. They're not on big wages.
They're not on big wages, and we're going to get rid of a lot of players.
In general, big wages, big prices.
Hold on.
I'm not trying to do semantics. I'm just trying to be honest with you. From a neutral football perspective, you've basically taken a route to go and buy players the way you've done it, and it may backfire, is what I'm saying, because you won't be able to, in my opinion, honestly, spend enough to replace the players that need to get replaced because of what you've done and the way in which you've done these contracts and the way in which you've set these players up to come to
yeah, but the reason why we've done
it's a big risk. That's basically my point.
Yeah, but the reason why we've set out the contract like that is for FFP, so we can actually go out there in the summer and still spend as much as we need to spend.
Yeah, but can you I understand that, but can you not see how that's an issue going forward? If it doesn't for example, right?
Yeah, but the point that you're making is you're trying to make the point that the players that we brought in haven't worked out, but the point
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is you have with respect to the situation of what Chelsea have done, right? You've got a small window for these players that you have brought in the way in which you've brought them in, right? They have a small window to get you Champions League football and potentially honours. If they don't, that has a knock-on effect every single season for you to then go, one, attract better players, but two, to be able to get rid of them. And because of the type of contracts you've done,
I get what you're trying to say, but end of the day, right now, we can't go that extreme in terms of looking at these players ending up as flops, because look at the season that we've just had. We've got 35 players in the squad. We've had Graham Potter, who had no idea what he was doing with these players that he's got, no idea of the in-game management. Then we went and sacked him and brought in Frank Lampard, who has had 2 wins, I believe, in 19 games as a manager, who shouldn't be managing anymore, right, in a 35-man squad. The players that we've brought in as of January, so you've got Badiashile, he's been good. Enzo, he's been good. Mudryk, he's long-term. But again, how do you expect a player like him to thrive in an environment where he's having to get changed next door with a makeshift tank and a bench on the floor because he can't get into the changing room? There's too many players. Mudryk, Madueke as well. How do you expect him to develop in this sort of environment? They're more long-term. But the players that we've brought in for now, as of January, they've done quite well. But at the same time, we need to get rid of a lot of players, and that's what we're going to hopefully do. And as of January, the only reason why we brought in the Mudryk and the Felix is because Sterling and Pulisic both got injured in the same game. We literally had no attackers, and the attackers that we had were the dross that we're trying to get rid of, such as Ziyech, such as Aubameyang. So how do you expect us to not make signings?
No, I don't expect you to. Listen,
when the opportunity was right there and we needed them.
No, if I'm honest, I don't expect you to. I hope you do shit. I'll be honest. That's just me. That's me been put my bias head on. Objectively, what I'm trying to say to you is it's a risk doing it the way you've done it, because I think you've brought the right profile of players in the age category and the talent, everything. I think you have, yeah. But when you're going for a rebuild, it's a bit of a strange way to do it, given the fact that you're putting a lot of pressure on these new players to come through who are young, inexperienced in the league, with the standards and the pressures of Chelsea and the fan base and the way in which you are culturally ran. It's a lot of pressure to put on them, given the fact that they've probably got 2 seasons, 3 seasons to actually perform to the standard of which the standards you guys want. And if they don't, which realistically they shouldn't have to, because the expectation shouldn't be there straight away when you're rebuilding, it's going to have a massive knock-on effect to the players that are more experienced that you need to get rid of. Because you're not going to be able, in my honest opinion, again, I could be wrong, it's just one football fan opinion out of 7 billion, cool. But I don't really think it's a wise strategy. If it works out, genius. Amazing. But as it's seen this season, next season, you've got to come away with some form of trophy. You've got to make top 4 to get something back.
We can't buy players like that anymore anyway.
The thing is, hold on, Don. And I feel like it's not a mistake that I attribute to this ownership is that I've been thought process this for about 45 minutes, and I just think this is on how we're gonna be getting back our standards. I think it rely on some sort of a patterns, and I feel like those decisions be made by Bowley is somewhat poorly planning, and as a result, like into the huge influx of signing 9 players in one window, have demonstrated a lack of, I would say, understanding regarding the importance of the time and consistency behind the scenes as well.
what do you guys actually, Chelsea fans? Because it's easy to say you guys will do this and X, Y, and Z because of Chelsea fans what they like. But what do you actually expect from these young guys? Like, because you guys all want the older players, the Deadwood to go. We already know that. So what do you expect from these young guys, and how long do you feel like you can be patient for?
What young guys are you referring to? Mudryk?
What young guys are you referring to?
No. I'm just talking about the team as a whole. So like you're gonna have Mudryk, Madueke, Dacho Fofana, Wesley Fofana, Badashile, Hugo.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. There's a lot of quality in this squad. So
that's why I'm asking. What do you expect from them?
Yeah, what do I expect? Okay, yeah, moving forward, I definitely expect a lot of structure. I expect proper in-game management, proper tactics, a proper coach at the sideline who knows what to do when it comes to managing in the Premier League, and we're going to have that in Poch. He's got a track record of developing young players. He's got a track record of playing good football. Do you know what I mean? He's got a good record of having a good discipline around the squad. This guy's he's been asking for more control, asking for CCTV in the whole like the training ground and everything, just to monitor people individually. Look at the video Mudryk was putting up yesterday online. He's not doing that if Poch is at the club right now. So a lot of these players need to buckle down. Like I said, there's a lot of holes to still fill, but there's a lot of quality in this team. You can see with that goal that Felix scored today. I know his end product hasn't been great the whole time he's been here. To be fair, even before Chelsea, it wasn't great at Madrid or in the World Cup either. But there's a lot of quality here. But it's just, again, it's not being utilized correctly, and we've got a conductor. We've had two conductors on the ship who just don't know what they're doing with players that of this level.
It's too easy to say that, because I feel like if you're in Poch's position right now, what are you thinking gonna get these players to regain their mentality back? Because what happened this season, they're mentally distraught.
Yeah, but I think that's true. That's what pre-season is going to be all about. And
exactly.
You're linked with that guy. Is it pronounced
Ugarte?
Ugarte, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So you're linked with him. And I said earlier, look, you may even need to sacrifice some signings early in this window to clear out the squad. These certain players need to be told, right, you'll go. Like, you look at Ziyech as an example. That guy shouldn't even be at your club right now. And it all fell through. And then 2 days later, he started a game. Yeah. That is an example of what's got to change. Poch has got to come in, whether he meets them face-to-face or sends a message or phones them. You're my guy. Relax. In your summer break, you're going to be part of this squad. Other phone calls, it's got to be like Judge's houses in X Factor. You're done. Even if you're training with the reserves, or we put you out to a feeder club, you will not be here next year. Your manager's got to be ruthless. That's the first thing he's got to do. Then it's just about training. A lot of these players are talented. I looked at Mykhailo Mudryk tonight, and there's so many bad and heavy touches. He let the ball run across his body for that first chance. I don't think he's as bad as his performances are letting on. I think there's a better player in. I think there's a better footballer in there than we are seeing.
Terry, I was at his day. I was at Anfield when he...
That's a fitness issue, number one. We have to sort that fitness issue first. Fitness.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I just don't know. Look, I'm not a professional coach. No manager wants 35 to 37 players in their squad. There's a reason they all want between 20 and 23 maximum, because it's hard to work with people. It's hard to focus on what everybody's doing, because you're not double what most squad sizes are, but you're not far away from being double the size of a normal squad. That literally, imagine a classroom full of kids meant to have 25 children in it. Imagine you've got 45. Kids are going to get neglected because there's not enough teaching around.
And Terry, this season,
there's too many players.
This season has actually shown a lot of fans that love the game, right? That having a good coach is important. Having a good manager is important, because if you look at us and the players that we've got, you can't tell me a lot of people forget this. As obvious as it sounds, as obvious as it sounds, a lot of people forget this, because you can't tell me, looking at this squad, a manager like Emery can't get something going. Even a manager like Arteta can't get something going with this team. We've had two complete twats that don't know that didn't know how to use the players that they've got the whole season. So
that's poor.
For me, next season, I actually have some belief that Poch can get a little bit of structure going. Obviously, the environment that he needs to walk into, like Terry said, needs to be healthy. We need to get rid of a lot of players. Like I said, it's car boot sale at Stamford Bridge this season. We need to get rid of a lot of players and hopefully just fill in a few gaps, and then we could go again. One game a week, that should hopefully help us.
But as football fans, yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, this is where the problem lies. I know you said it's a car boot sale and you need to get rid of a lot of players, but you're banking on sell-on value. So to be honest, like with Mount, you're hoping that Mount sells on for about 60 million. What about the others? Do you get what I'm saying? You're banking for these poor performances that you guys said we need to throw away. Where's the sell-on value for these players? Because you need sell-on value to buy.
We're gonna take a hit. We're gonna take a
You
hit.
don't look at you don't look on selling value. What you do is for harmony, for the club, for the team, you take hits. And that's the problem we had under Roman. We kept players too long and extended deals. We've still got Bakayoko on a contract.
You're lying.
No.
I'm sorry.
We've had Baba Rahman on a contract still with us. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem.
Aren't you getting back Hudson-Odoi as well?
Hudson-Odoi coming back.
And this reminds me of what's... Listen, Man United is now gone, but Phil Jones is still out.
Right.
And we've had this thing, these legacy issues that clubs have got that have had. And I've said this for many years. You're right, Don. Having a top quality coach helps. Of course it does. But what's more overlooked than anything is people don't understand structures and who runs your club. That's why I thought it's a Man United stream. I can bring him up about people getting triggered. It's why Fergie's the GOAT. He wasn't just a head coach. He was the director of football and head coach rolled into one. Old school managers don't exist anymore. People are head coaches. City wouldn't be where they are with Pep if they were run like Chelsea and Man United and Tottenham are run. He'd still win games. He'd still win trophies. He'd probably still win a league title because he's one of the best coaches football's ever had. But your structure behind it is key. And where Chelsea, and this is why it isn't just on Todd. You are not being run great under Roman either. It wasn't as bad as it's been the last year, but there were problems there as well that need to be called out.
Terry, what came out yesterday? Just a quick one. What came out yesterday is that apparently Todd Bowley's taken a step back. Yes. And he's only doing 20% of any work now related to the club.
And that's so important. That's
a lot of damage to 20%.
At the end of the day, well, it's as long as he's not touching football stuff. Because at the end of the day, I could have some money and go and buy a restaurant. If I start cooking the food, we're in trouble. I'm not a bad little cook at home, but I don't know how to cook food for masses of people at the same time. That's a skill. You've got to be trained in what to do. None of us on this panel could run a football club. None of us have the expertise or education in that area to run a football club. We all think we can, but we couldn't do it. None of us could run a bakery unless you're trained to do it. Like legitimately.
I'll manage better than Frank, though. I'll manage better than Frank Lampard.
Bro, we all would, bro.